What is your game, charisma, or pickup methods? Story 1. My mate is 6 feet 4 inches, handsome, and looks like a Greek god. They throw themselves at him at a bar. It's depressing. He can go out and pick up anytime he wants, and he does. He says, be aloof and arrogant. But I think, look like a Greek god. Story 2. Wear a wedding ring to bars. Don't talk about or mention your wife. At least this way you are attracting shallow people. Unfortunately, this really does work. Story 3. My ex-roommate used to bring a lot of women to our apartment. His motto was quantity over quality. As such, he brought home a lot of women who were very questionable and downright scary. It looked like he had picked them up at the clearance rack at a going-out-of-business sale at a thrift shop. Story 4. I had a little experience before I met my wife. First, you have to stop thinking there's some trick or hack. That type of approach shows desperation. Take care of yourself. Be interesting. Be confident. Hold a conversation. And have a sense of humor. Don't try to get into a relationship. Try to make a friend. It's a numbers game. The more people you meet, the better your chances. Not all women will be interested in you. Before you mention the common belief of needing to be good-looking, I've seen unattractive or overweight men succeed remarkably in dating. I've also seen very attractive men be off-putting to women. Also, I want to add a few things. Female friends love to be wing women. I've never seen a girl go home with a guy that has bad breath. I did a lot better meeting women in person than on dating apps. Story 5. Not going to lie, I am not a player or anything close, but I have had the most success with women when I really did not care at all about their perception of me. A lot of times we can hold ourselves back because we do not want to make others uncomfortable or appear creepy. The guys who succeed literally do not care at all if they look creepy or make other people uncomfortable. At least for myself, before I started approaching women, I could not imagine doing that because I did not want to appear weird or uncool, whatever that means, and I would just not do it. But some things happened in my life, and I went through a kind of phase where I really did not care about anything and just did what I wanted, talked to who I wanted, and during that time in my life I got the most women. I probably did seem like a creep to some people or a weirdo, and I did get rejected a lot too, but the indifference in my opinion is what did it for me. Story 6. My body count was only 2 when I graduated college, both serious relationships. By the time I hit 30 years old, my count was 40 plus. So here's what I suggest. 1. As someone else already commented, sleeping with women can't be your goal. They see through that very quickly, a big turnoff. In fact, desperation in general is a turnoff, which leads me to number 2. 2. Be able to genuinely say no. If she's a 10 out of 10 looks-wise but annoys you personality-wise, be able to say no. If she expects you to buy her things, thinks the golden rule doesn't apply to her, believes in astrology or whatever, be able to say no. You have to honestly and genuinely remove all desperation from your personality, or at least what you present. Take care of yourself. Practice good hygiene. Maintain a healthy diet. Don't drink too much. Maintain a decent job and hit the gym regularly. If you want to sleep with a prize, you have to be a prize. Confidence, not arrogance. Avoid talking about yourself unless asked. Be humble, but not self-deprecating. Be complimentary, but not transactional. And be gracious, but not intense. Be able to sit in a crowded bar by yourself, reading a book, and feel content. This creates that mystery allure so many women find appealing. And number 3 means you've got the goods to back it up. Be interesting. Have hobbies you pursue actively. Have travel stories. Even if you went by yourself, which is even more impressive. Pay attention to current events, have thoughts and opinions, but only share them when asked. On that note, ask questions and actually pay attention to the answers. And lastly, become a regular somewhere, anywhere, preferably a bar or nightclub, but a bookstore could work too. Be familiar, tip well, and let the staff get to know you. Practice your social skills with them where women can see you. It creates a sense of safety. In my case, I set up a chess set in the corner of a Gothic nightclub every Thursday and Sunday night from 9 to 12 for 9 years. This was remarkably successful for expanding my social life in general, and also led to many relationships. Highly recommended. Good luck, And don't be inconsiderate about it. P.S. You can't fake your way through this. It's a commitment to a full-on lifestyle change. Requires time and effort, but it will pay off, I promise. Edit. When I first started going to that nightclub with my chess set, people thought I was weird. Multiple nights went by with nobody sitting down. I just had a few drinks, read a book, enjoyed the atmosphere. Gothic clubs are very interesting, and people watched. Didn't take long to spot the royalty of the place, and one in particular named Janice was absolutely stunning. Way too intimidating for me at the time. I was 22. I only mention this because I wound up sleeping with Janice multiple times a few years later. We dated for a while, and I actually dumped her because she complained way too much about everything in day-to-day life. She also liked to speak poorly about other people at the club, which I didn't like. Just goes to show you, doesn't matter how attractive she is, somebody out there got tired of her behavior. Story 7. I'm going to be honest. The first step is not taking no as a personal attack and understanding that asking someone out is always at least a little awkward. Play into that a little. If you go out to meet someone and you can take rejection in stride, you end up being way more successful because you don't fear one of the worst-case scenarios. One time, a woman told me, "Not on your life." And I laughed and said, "Oof, shot down in flames." I held my hand to my chest and then told her to have a good night. Another woman saw that and thought I was cute and approachable. She was funny. I hope she's doing well. Basically, when people say confidence, they mean embrace failure as a possibility, not outright reject it. Story 8. Be tall. I'm not saying that as a short person who was passed up for a taller person. I am the taller person. My game is no better than the shorter person. It's probably much worse. I had a lot of hookups in my teens and 20s just by showing up and receiving favoritism and not blowing it. All I had to do was not blow it. It's a shallow world we live in. Story 9. I have a lifelong friend who sleeps with a fair few women. He is in his mid-40s, and his tally is around 320. Right now, he goes on dating sites, talks nonsense to over 40 women, goes around, and sleeps with them. He tends to pick ones with low self-esteem or who are divorced. He is shameless. Story 10. Every guy I know who has been with over 100 women is busy doing things like going to the gym, playing sports, attending parties, or caught up in some relationship drama. I've never seen them reading or posting on any online forums. At best, they have an Instagram account where they post pictures for attention, if at all. You show them Reddit and posts from guys complaining about dating apps, and they can't relate to Reddit demographics. In their world, women are consistently showing interest in them, and they can't believe other guys aren't getting dates online. Meanwhile, they're struggling to keep up with women who are constantly texting them, often forgetting to reply. Most of them are good-looking but not necessarily exceptionally attractive. They just have subtle behaviors and micro-expressions that signal interest to women. Girls can tell other women are interested in him, and the burden of pursuing him falls on her if she wants him to. Story 11. I'm not going to claim I sleep with lots of women, but my tips for having gone from an unattractive teenager to a somewhat highly attractive man are as follows. Fundamentally, the key is to be nice enough to look at so that women want to get your attention. Then, have a pleasant enough personality to be conversed with. Be bold enough to make your intentions obvious, while being polite and respectful at the same time. Every woman is different. Some care more about humor, some care more about status, and some care more about appearance. All of those generally matter somewhat. For example, a wealthy, handsome person who is arrogant is probably going to have less success than someone who is fairly well-off, good-looking, and extremely funny. So whatever you have, flaunt it, and whatever you don't have, work on getting it. If you're boring, watch more comedic media to try to upgrade your sense of humor. If you're wealthy, upgrade your wardrobe to communicate your status. If you aren't fit, get fit, and if you're fit, then take advantage of it. Pickup methods are just false solutions for not having sufficient appearance, personality, or status to be considered attractive. Having a mustache is a plus in my experience too. Have you tried that? Story 12. Confidence and laughter. If you can make a girl laugh, it's the key to her heart. I found once you hit your mid-20s, Women have more of a, are we going to have a serious relationship or are you wasting my time? Attitude. Story 13. Be tall and good looking. Don't be ugly. From there, be fun and respectful. Once those are covered, be clear about what you want. It's not charisma. It's confidence, kindness, and happiness. With these simple methods, you can probably sleep with women. They're just like us. They want to be attracted, valued, have fun, and be treated with respect. Story 14. You have to be confident in yourself and focus on yourself 100%. Women don't like men who chase after them. They want a man they can't get. I'm 31 and have barely learned to put myself before women and not after. I go to the gym 5 times a week and am fully concentrated on my career, health, and finances. I am in the best shape of my life and look way better than I did when I was in my 20s. Confidence is sky high and women always approach me. Just in the past 7 days, I've been asked my age and was told that I look 25 by a woman. The bartender got off work at a family restaurant I usually frequent, and she bought me a shot, then spoke to me for about 2 hours afterward. I've been told multiple times that I'm super handsome by both men and women, and I've been catcalled twice this week. If I was constantly seeking validation and chasing after women, this wouldn't be the case. So, original poster, concentrate on yourself first and never put a woman on a pedestal. Story 15 reminds me of my college roommate. He could bring back at least one girl every time he went out, sometimes two, and a couple of times even celebrities. If he didn't, it was because he didn't feel like it. That was 25 years ago. We're still friends. There were a few contributing factors I summarized. We were in a touristy town, think South Beach, Miami. He's 6'1", blonde, has a good build, and is smart. His family is rich. I don't know if he used that advantage to pick up girls. He's an international student, speaks English very well, but that German accent is quite attractive. Story 16. In my 20s, it was easy, but I think that's because I wasn't directly looking for it. I used to hang out in bars every single night and get hammered. Getting drunk was the goal. Meeting people was secondary. Once a month or every 6 weeks, I would meet someone and bring her home. Sometimes it would turn into a fling, sometimes it wouldn't. One turned into a 4-year relationship. I'm too old now to be going to bars, though. Story 17. The guys I know with the highest body counts run through average to well below average-looking women. Also known as anything will do, the guys I know that pay get women better looking than them. Story 18. Rarely ever made a first move. And no, I am not a GQ-looking dude, nor am I a life of the party extrovert either. I do give off an air of mystery, I think. I do not know. Just a guess. I would also like to add that I would purposely ignore most women. It would even annoy them and force them to engage with me. Story 19. Honestly, I was the professional wingman. I've jumped on more grenades than I can count. But my buddies got laid and so did I. I am a multiple recipient of the Bro Code of Honor medal. Story 20. It's a lot of moving parts. Game, understanding psychology, body language, social cues. In the first 5 minutes of entering a room, I can spot who's down to flirt in the parking lot before the night is over, to whom I'd have to talk for a few days and take on a date before anything would happen. Now, my batting average is about 0.995, but I don't step up to the plate that often. I don't have to prove anything to myself or anyone. It also doesn't hurt that I did well in genetics. I'm over 6 feet tall with broad shoulders and a typical bad boy look. Now, if you mean how to juggle multiple women, be honest with them. This doesn't mean telling them every little thing you're doing, but if they ask you point blank, are you seeing or sleeping with anyone else? Tell the truth and don't overshare. In my experience, 3 out of 5 women will stick around as long as, while they're spending time with you, you make them feel like they're the only woman in the world. When I'm on a date, I don't check my phone unless I'm expecting a call or text on a deal or transaction that's going to make money. Story 21. The harsh reality is that unless you are an 8 out of 10 or higher in terms of looks, you will find it hard to meet women who will want to be with you. I had a friend in college who was an exceptionally good-looking guy, easily a 9 out of 10. He was not particularly funny or intelligent, and he did not have charisma. He was just a good-looking guy and women loved him. If you are not an 8 out of 10 or higher, your best bet is to work on the fundamentals. Good hygiene and grooming and dress well. Be confident, funny, and charming. You still will not get nearly as much attention as the good-looking guys, but if you keep trying and do not give up after being rejected many times, you will get somewhere for sure. Story 22. Never had game or charisma methods. I literally just started conversations with girls, and probably a quarter of the time, either that evening or maybe next week, we would be together. You really only need two things: to be able to hold a conversation and to be at least somewhat funny. Story 23. The charisma or game is not on you. It's in you. It's a mentality shift. If you decide tomorrow that you're going to increase your confidence exponentially and truly align your actions with that thought, you're going to naturally do the correct things when a woman is in front of you. The problem is, men like you say they want to attract many women, but put a woman in front of you, and you become softer than Charmin and more indecisive than a woman when it's dinner time.